Thank you.
Yeah, it does take a trumpet ensemble to give a joyful and triumphant special zing. I don't think you've ever heard "O Come All Ye Faithful" done quite like that, but even though I can't see you now that the spotlight's on me, I'm happy to see that you are the faithful who have come here to the Phipps for what's turning into an annual event with the Twin Cities Trumpet Ensemble and Jim Olcott. Trumpet and organ, and a little later in the evening, that marvelous Wurlitzer console will be the home for Bill Chouinard. Wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much.
Oh, and how about say hello to Michael Barone?
Hi.
He's been with us since the beginning of doing these concerts. This is, I think, it's our 4th year. It's absolutely terrific to be doing this. It's a highlight of our season. Of course, listen, before we get any further, as the concert goes on, you're going to see what seems to be chaos back there and people moving around. Well, we're lucky in that we have so many good players that not everybody is always playing first trumpet or fourth trumpet or so on. So everybody's playing all sorts of parts. So when I'm talking with you, or when Michael's doing his talking, sort of pretend that that's not happening back there, because it's, that's just how it works, the way we do it. And we have a lot of fun doing that. It gives everybody a chance to do a lot of blowing. Anyway, so.
Yeah, well, and also, you don't pay any attention to the guy sitting in the big white chair. But let's get going in fine fashion. It is the most wonderful time of the year, and our music will say that in just a moment, as soon as Jim gets his score ready, set. It's that wonderful time of the year, and it's also that wonderful time in our program to bring on stage, direct from St. Andrews in Matamidi, our resident organist, Bill Chouinard.
Thank you, Michael.
You know, I cannot tell a lie, but this next piece is not something that I would have thought of immediately as a Christmas item, but I mean, in particular because it comes from the film Pinocchio, and it was made very popular by a cricket, right?
That's what I understand. Cricket given voice by Ukulele Ike. Does that sound right?
Cliff Edwards
Cliff
was
Edwards,
his name. Yeah.
yes.
Wonderful song. And do you do something special with this, or do you take the charts straight from the Disney Corporation?
No, it's not straight from Disney. My apologies to Disney for that. No, but you will find a very familiar and very seasonal Christmas carol woven into the midsection of this piece.
So listen for that, and we'll test you afterwards. So, When You Wish Upon a Star with Bill Chouinard. That man has a way with harmony. Yes, I know. Okay, tell the people that we're not doing what's next on the program, right?
That's it.
Okay, so since they're in the dark, they're not expecting it anyway. Next, we have a carol of the bells, which started out, a gentleman named Mikola Leontovich created a piece for an ensemble that had nothing to do with Christmas, and he brought that group to Carnegie Hall, and they performed it there, and by chance, the choral director and music administrator of the New York Public Schools, Peter Wilhowsky, happened to hear the concert, and it gave him some ideas because there was something about the repetitive theme of the work that made him think of bells, and he wrote some English lyrics to it, and this choral work from Ukraine that had nothing to do with Christmas is now a very popular and well-known Christmas piece, The Carol of the Bells.
Yeah, this piece hello, yes. This piece is actually pretty much fun, but it's very rarely done with much of an arrangement because dun da da dun that goes on forever, and it's very easy to get tired of it. And you got da 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 dun, and the rest of it is dun da da da. So we decided to do something a little bit different. We heard a group called Pentatonics, a vocal group out of Florida, do an arrangement of this particular piece, and it was pretty interesting, but the da-da-da-da got lost in it because it got so complex. So we've done it a little bit differently here. So if you listen closely, you'll hear the dum-ba-da-da all over the place, but it's hidden sometimes above, sometimes below, sometimes in the middle. So it's a great fun piece to play. Oh, and by the way, it turned into a Christmas tune only because Mr. Wilhowsky used the term Christmas in the lyrics. Welcome to Christmas. So here we go with our version of the Carol of the Bells.
Yeah, what a way to start the season. You've got an earworm now. You're going to go ding, diddle, ding, ding, diddle, ding, and all the way home. But we'll try and erase that a little bit with our suite of 3 holiday tunes for you next, which you will recognize quite clearly and probably are singing in your hearts already. I Saw 3 Ships, Silent Night, and representing the upcoming Jewish Festival of Lights, which begins with interesting coincidence on Christmas Day this year. Arrangements by Zach Smith all the way through. The last part of our little suite will be Hanukkah, Oh Hanukkah. Again, Jim Olcott and more of the Twin Cities Trumpet Ensemble. Jim, before you go off stage, I've got a question. I mean, these people out here might be wondering. We're told that a conductor puts the stick in the right hand, and that's where the tempo is, and you use the left hand for dynamics. But I see you then put your stick over in your left hand and just hold it there and direct with your right. What's going on?
Well, conductors have a different way of doing things, but sometimes, if he's right, I conduct 1, 2, 3, 4, and all that sort of, but once in a while, I want them to play warmer, softer. I can do that with this hand, but if you do it with this hand, it has a little more meaning.
Okay. I wondered. I was very curious.
No, that's just.
Is it possible?
It's something that's not really planned very. Hopefully, when you've worked with an ensemble, they know your signals, and if you look at them and do this, they're not going to play a march.
But it's antithetical, the idea of a trumpet ensemble being quiet.
I have to confess that's part of the fun of this group, because some of the things that we do are quiet, like that Silent Night that you just heard. Most people expect trumpets, yike, let me put fingers in my ears and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, we can play loud, and we can be a fanfare thing. We can rouse armies. We can do all of that stuff with the fanfares, but we can also be very warm and peaceful. And the ultimate of that is like playing taps. That's the other side of it. So playing all of the different emotions is part of the challenge and part of the beauty and part of the fun. And I hope that during the evening that you'll get a sense of sort of the complexity and the different ways that we can handle the pieces that we play for you and the emotions that we hope that we can express to you. That's what this is about.
Thank you, Jim. And now, as you can see, at the Wurlitzer console, my friend Bill Chouinard, we have gone from a Ukrainian carol to a Jewish Christmas, Hanukkah song, and now from Puerto Rico, Jose Feliciano. This is a piece that was very popular, not right at the very beginning when he introduced it in 1970, was it?
That's what I understand. I think the first year, it took some time for this to get off the ground, but get off the ground it certainly did. After estimated 3.8 billion people have heard this song over the years, and covered by artists of the likes of Celine Dion, Michael Bublé, The Wiggles. As a parent of 3, I know who The Wiggles are, and Daryl Hall of Hall & Oates fame, among many others in both vocal and instrumental iterations. So it's covered the masses.
Now you're going to do some interesting, different things with the theater organ tonight, and it's not just the theater organ, right?
Correct. It is all part and parcel, part of what the organ is or contains, but you may see off to your right and my left a grand piano. It's not really illuminated very well here, but that is a Wurlitzer 7-foot grand, which is a part of this organ. It's wired in, you might say, to play as one of the stops on the organ. So you'll hear that come in as part of the little party from the south that will ensue, along with other percussions on the organ, castanets, tambourine, some other melodic percussions as well. So we'll kind of pull out all the stops, as it were.
Okay, Feliz Navidad and Bill Chouinard. Yes, the soul-stirring and butt-rumbling sounds of the theater organ. It really does shake the place, does it not? I've always been intrigued and amazed by how musical creativity comes along. Where do composers find the ideas? How do they put them down? Catherine Kennicott Davis back in 1941 was trying to take a nap, but something got in her ear. She started thinking about the French Carol Patapin and started coming up with her own drum riffs on it and created the song that you are about to hear. As far as the nap that she was taking, it didn't last very long, and it makes me think of the Gary Larson cartoon that you might remember from the New Yorker. I think it's coming around pretty regularly at seasonal time. Beautiful manger scene, Joseph standing sternly behind the crib, and Mary is there. She's just gotten the baby Jesus is quieted down, and then the little drummer boy comes by. Please send that child away. We have a special arrangement of the little drummer boy. Mitchell Dietz, who's one of the players in our Twin Cities Trumpet Ensemble, will be soloist, and he is responsible for the music that you are about to hear. Jim, it's yours again. Actually, that was very sweet. You know, it wasn't nearly as rat-tat-tatty as you would expect the drummer boy to be. So maybe the baby Jesus would be put to sleep by the drummer boy in a nice way, of course.
Well, he got a really dirty look from Joseph.
Okay, now we've got the 12 Days of Christmas, and we have more than 12 players for it, but I'm wondering if we add them all up, how many characters? You know, I mean, partridges in the pear tree and leaping lords.
Yeah, when I was, ever since I've heard this piece as a kid, and we'd sing it and so forth, I always wondered if things accumulated over a period of 12 days, what would you have? So I figured it out. At the end of 12 days, you'd have 12 partridges in a pear tree, okay, 22 turtle doves, 30 French hens, 36 culling birds, 40 gold rings, 42 geese a-laying. That'd be a mess.
It's a lot of eggs.
Yeah. 42 swans a-swimming, 40 maids a-milking, 36 ladies dancing, 30 lords a-leaping, 22 pipers piping.
Hope they're outside.
Outside. And 12 drummers drumming. Hope you have a big house.
Yeah. Good.
Anyway, but that's part of the fun of it. It's a great piece.
And you and Ed Hoffman have done up special arrangements. Is that what we've got here?
Well, the piece repeats, of course, over and over and over, and it can get old pretty quick. So Ed and I worked on this, and we decided to give you an idea of all sorts of different ways that this piece can be played. We use all the different instruments, different colors of the horns. Matter of fact, well, let's have a little fun here. We don't do any demonstrations, but okay. Let's see. Hold up a B flat. That's a B flat trumpet. That's our regular trumpet, the one that we always use. But we also now in this case we have lots of flugelhorns. Hold up the flugelhorns. You can see how they look different as well. Do we have the picks? Yes, those are piccolo trumpets over on this side over here. That's 1/2 the size of a regular B-flat trumpet. And so it has a different kind of sound altogether. Over here, we've got an alto trumpet, which is actually a very rare beast. And then over here, we've got the bass trumpet. That's twice the size of a regular trumpet. So when we play all these things together, you don't hear just a mess of trumpet players, but you hear all these different colors. That's part of the fun of it. So you'll hear all of these things occur, all these instruments being used in different ways in the 12 days of Christmas.
You sort of wonder whether it's a possible, plausible propensity for the partridge to park in a pear tree. These are the things that come to one when one's sitting listening to the Twin Cities Trumpet Ensemble. Yeah. Okay, now it's your turn. If you had the 12 Days of Christmas running through your lyric sheets internally, let's externalize. We've got one of the most popular, familiar, and oft performed and sung choruses in all of music history, and it is, of course, the Hallelujah Chorus from Messiah by Handel. Now, ours is not, as you might have come to expect at this point, the usual sort of arrangement. This is a transcription for 12 B-flat trumpets. Be here or be flat, is that the way it goes? One group represents the orchestra. One group represents the oboes and the trumpets in the orchestra. And the third group represents the choir, while Dr. Chouinard at the mighty Wurlitzer holds it all together, as the organ continuo often does. So feel free to sing along, and it doesn't matter whether you don't know the words. You can hum. If you have no sense of pitch, it doesn't matter, because you will be drowned out by the Twin Cities Trumpet Ensemble. But have a good time anyway with Messiah and Hallelujah Chorus. Now it's time for Jim Alcott to strut his stuff and prove that he actually can play the horn too. And you're going to help him out because he doesn't know what he's going to do yet until you tell him.
This
right?
is part of the fun of it. Playing with someone like Bill, it's always great fun to sort of challenge ourselves and play together a piece that you suggest. So, shout out a couple of popular Christmas tunes. What? Jingle Bells?
Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle Bell Rock.
Or what was the other one?
Silver Bells.
Did I hear that at Snow? Deal. Jingle Bells gets old pretty quick, so but the Let It Snow has a little bit more oomph to it. So let's see. So
That's coming up next.
we've just settled in on Let Us Know. But let's see, what key? Let's do it in 3 flats? Sure. Okay, how does it go? Give me an introduction and we'll see what happens.
You're just getting warmed up. I think we ought to give you another tune to tune to tickle. Yeah.
Do another one?
One more. Shout it out from somewhere. Quick. Now, wait a minute. Let's not all go at once.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Take a vote on how many people know that tune.
No, we'll
Have yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Okay. Okay.
The Chipmunk Christmas song.
Chipmunk Christmas? How does that go? Which one was that? Yeah. What was that? Boy, hey. I think so. Okay, short. Okay. We did. B flat. Yeah. Okay, give me an intro. We'll see what happens. Two more.
Chipmunks are small, and that was a small version of the Chipmunk Christmas. Okay, someone shouted out the Charlie Brown Christmas tune, and I think that's what we've got coming up next, if we get the trumpeters back on stage.
Guys, come on back out.
They so much enjoy hiding in the dark there. I don't know, a bunch of bashful fellows and gals. So, as with the exception of the hippopotamuses, I mean, that must be a brand new thing. Many of the Christmas favorites that we've been performing for you tonight are old school, so to speak. But this next one is kind of recent, which is to say, it came about when I was a sophomore in college. If you consider the white beard, you know that was not just yesterday. But Christmas Time Is Here was written for inclusion in a CBS TV presentation, and it's taken on a life of its own, and so is arranged for the Twin Cities Trumpet Ensemble by Minnesota's own Mike Harleston. Halstenson. Read it. It says right here, Halstenson. Yeah. Yeah. Why not? And there he is. sweet harmonies in that piece. Well, we talk about the 12 days of Christmas. We've sung about the 12 days of Christmas. We've played around with the 12 days of Christmas. Christmas is celebrated, it seems, almost perpetually once the temperatures get a little chilly, even before the Halloween decorations come down. Christmas decorations are coming up. Christmas is a 12-day festival, and it lasts until the 6th of January. So spread it out as much as you can. This is a time for peace and joy. But for some people, Christmas begins, and technically, liturgically, it does, at midnight on Christmas Eve. And on Christmas Eve, you can participate with a world congregation and join in the listening to a festival of 9 lessons and carols as presented live from King's College in Cambridge, England. And that means it's 9 o'clock our time, it's 6 o'clock p.m. English time, but 9 in the morning here, and you can hear the live broadcast on Minnesota Public Radio. 99.5 FM, in case that's a strange place for you to go. It's also rebroadcast that evening at 7 p.m., in case you're doing something else in the morning. And it will be on the Your Classical Minnesota Public Radio website for 30 days following Christmas. So if you missed it on Christmas Eve, you can catch up with it. I'm honored to be able to be the United States presenter for that. And in addition to the service itself, we have a special feature afterwards, talking to the choir director, talking to the gentleman who has been commissioned to play, to provide a new carol for the service. It's a wonderful thing. For some people, listening to that broadcast is the beginning of Christmas. Maybe it will be for you. But we've begun, and we're coming close to an end, but we want to keep the idea of joy and friendship and fellowship very much alive here. And so a song, again, from the Festival of Lights and the Hanukkah season. English title is Let It Rejoice, but in Hebrew it means, it says, Hava Nagila. And if you want to join in along with, go right ahead.
I'd like to say a little something. Out of breath. Lots of fun. And I'd like to thank the Phipps. I'm part of the music board here, and I've been so proud to have the bunch of my friends here join us for the trumpet ensemble and perform for the last couple of years. And hopefully you can keep on doing it. Tell your friends, tell everybody, because it's just a joy to do that. And I especially did something kind of fun, as you can see. This is in remembrance of Jim Alcott, because he's worth gold. So I thought I'd put a little bit more gold on just for this one song, because it's been a staple for the last couple of years, and he's been a real golden person for this ensemble. So please give Jim a big call.
And keep your hands warm, and we should offer some extra applause for Bill Chouinard.
Get myself set up here.
Yeah, you have some things to say, though, I think,
Yes, I
and
do.
so we'll let you. Last night you gave credits to everyone: the stage manager, the box office people, the folks who clean the restrooms. But you didn't mention the guys from Century Organ, who, without their work all this past week, because pipe organs don't like sitting silent, especially during the wintertime. Things kind of dry out. So Terry Clevin and Bob Swaney, who are probably hiding in the shadows in the back there, are responsible for making this marvelous instrument sound as really wonderful as it is. It's old. I think it dates back to 1926, which means it's even older than I am. But it makes better music than I ever could. And Bill tickles it in just the right way. Thank you. Thank you.
We do what we
Bill.
can, but we're able to do what we can because of the TLC that this organ gets. And it's a wonderful collection of mechanics and things that need just the right artisans that know the quirks, the ins and outs, and know how to make good music out of it as well. So these two are golden, speaking of golden. So thank you, Bob and Tom.
Before we go any further, I'd like to introduce you to the chairman of our board of directors for the Twin Cities Trumpet Ensemble, Alex, who sort of is steering us through the year and does a wonderful job. And he has a few things that he'd like to say.
Thank you, Jim. I'll keep this short, but it is my pleasure. I serve as the president of our board of directors. And on behalf of the board of directors and the entire Twin Cities Trumpet Ensemble, it's now my pleasure to say welcome and thank you for being here tonight. It's just a joy for us to be in this space, to share your space, and bring a little holiday cheer to you. And whether we're starting off your holiday or adding to it, or bringing it to a culmination as you join your friends and family for the special days to come, we're just glad that you spent the evening with us and that you gave us an opportunity to present our craft to you, because without an audience, anything we do is meaningless. And it came to our mind, I want to share with you, this ensemble in 2025 is turning 10, if you can believe that. We're quite young compared to most ensembles in the Twin Cities metro area, but for us it's a grand case for celebration. And in 2014, Jim moved to the Twin Cities, and a couple of folks learned of his coming up to Minneapolis, a couple of trumpet players, and they introduced themselves, and they got together at his place, and they played a few duets, and they decided to do it again a couple weeks later and invited some more friends, and those friends invited friends after the next couple weeks, and they kept doing that till it snowballed, and finally in 2015, we formed officially as the Twin Cities Trumpet Ensemble, and then in 2017, we gained our 501c3 status as a nonprofit. And so that makes it easier for us to operate and bring these spectacular concerts to you and show you that there's more to the trumpet than a bunch of fanfares and loud playing, as you might be accustomed to in the band or the orchestra. We really can finesse the instrument and use the different pitched instruments, as you've seen tonight, to really bring some music to the stage, and that's our joy that we share to you. So if you'd like to learn more about us, we do have a CD for sale. We were able to put a CD together, if you can believe it, during COVID in 2020. We had a few recordings already made, and we did some online work together and digitally recorded our own in our homes and sent them off to Jim, and we were able to get some pieces put together that way as well. And there's a wonderful CD out there if you'd like to introduce your friends and family to us through that CD. They make wonderful stocking stuffers out at the front desk right outside the hall here. And there's also a stack of envelopes out there. If you'd like to learn more about us, you can certainly fill out this information or follow the QR code in your program here tonight to visit our website. And we have a newsletter that we don't bombard you with only 3 or maybe 4 times a year to let you know where we're going to be. For instance, last August we were out here on the beautiful river front in the band shell out here bringing music to your community, and it was just so fun for us. So if you'd like to follow us, learn more about us, or order anything from us, that's how you get a hold of us. So thank you again for being here this evening. It's our pleasure to be here, and happy holidays.
Thank you, Alex. And first of all, I want to make sure that we give another hand to Bill for his involvement with us tonight. Thank you so much, Bill. What a pleasure it is to work with a master musician, and to have him on stage with us is always a joy. Then another thank you for Michael Barone. How about a hand for him for doing a marvelous job with us tonight? It's always fun. And before we play our last little set of things, I want to make sure to acknowledge the crew here at the Phipps for making all of this possible. Ben T.G., who is the executive director, and let's see, Mark Koski, who is the stage manager for all of this, and to Tom Dolly, who is doing our sound and our all the lights up here tonight. So how about a hand for the people who work at this place? So,
Okay, no matter how much fun we're having, there has to be an end. But keep in mind that this is a special season filled with joy. And boy, are we going to fill it up now.
2 choruses of Joy to the World. And if you don't know the words to the second chorus,
Sing the first one.
you can go la la la, you can go sing the first chorus again, or hum.
They did pretty well. I could almost hear them. But we can't let the evening end without wishing you a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, we'll do one more for you. Okay, Bing Crosby, what's the tune? White Christmas.